So I have been using MIUI 13 since a week on my Redmi Note 7S aka Lavender, and the UI kinda feels like iOS and some features are very close to iOS style. So let's begin. As you can see that I'm using MIUI 13.0.10 and the stock kernel is Nexus version 5 Oldcam, which is way too old. There are many new features in MIUI 13 and one of them is widgets. Widgets was available before too, but this time system app widgets has been completely changed and the widget picker is changed as well. Some widgets looks kinda similar to iOS like this weather, clock and security widgets. There are many widgets available and to use these widgets I have to download it when I placed it on home screen, which is weird. I think most of the widgets will be downloadable via theme store and widgets from third-party apps doesn't appear here. Wallpapers and personalization is the place where you can customize everything, whether it is always on display lock screen icons, wallpapers, which you can find at the library, and from here you can get all new super wallpapers. And font settings is changed as well. Now you can change font style. The very first slider is for size and second one is for style. You can make it bold or light, which is a great thing in my opinion, and it gives more power to customize. Security settings is the most changed thing with this update. There is tons of new features for security and privacy. So the very first thing that caught my eyes was shutdown confirmation. With this option turned on, no one can turn off your device. They have to enter the password to turn off the phone, and that is a great thing. In case of theft, thief won't be able to shut down your device and you can turn off control center access from lock screen as well. And then you can find your device easily with the help of Find My Device or from Xiaomi's Find Device website. Also, the SIM security is much easier to find, and with this your SIM card will be locked with a pin. And the SIM card will be linked to this device only, but you can enter the same pin to use this SIM card on other device. You can also find MIUI Warning Center, which was not available previously, and from here you can get updates for earthquakes, disaster directly on your device and alerts on your Mi Smart Home devices too. So after setting up earthquake warning, you can see some settings. You can change the warning threshold so that you can get notified if the intensity of earthquake is higher than the threshold you set, and you can also get notifications for low intensity earthquake by enabling receive system notifications. You can also add emergency contact, your medical card, and there is an option to find a shelter as well. Emergency SOS is now moved to security. Previously it was hidden somewhere deep inside cancerous valley of MIUI if I recall correctly. By the way, subscribing to my channel will cure you from MIUI cancer. There is this new feature named as Family Card, and from here you can control MIUI 13 devices. From the description it looks like that, but I don't know how and what will it do. MIUI 13 users can get payment security as well, but there is no toggle or info about it yet. Check websites is available too, which works with Mi browser and it will detect harmful websites and messages links. And secure keyboard can randomize numeric keypad, but I think it will work with stock keyboard only. So under privacy protection, you can find app behavior, and from here you can view everything that the app accessed and you can disable it directly from here, and critical ones will be marked as orange, and you can access privacy options too. You can grant permission to access clipboard to certain apps from Protect Clipboard. You will also get a notification if an app deletes any image without permission by enabling receive notification about deleted photos, or you can use detect privacy risk so that you can get all info about privacy related things in one place. You can also get indicator for location, mic and camera, which was introduced in Android 11. And under protection tab, you can find all sort of protection related features. By enabling these two features, which is under network interception, you can easily give or take permission to access gallery, or you can also remove location info from photos when sharing to someone. Under do not track, there is virtual ID, and this feature can hide your device unique ID and give a fake one so that apps can't track the user behavior. It is kinda like iOS. Private space is where you can encrypt your photos or videos and even files with screen lock. That means your password for locked files will be same as a lock screen password. This feature is built into system so that it means it will be pretty secure and can be accessed via file manager too. There is one more feature which you have used in browsers, and that is incognito. Unlike browsers, this option can disable access to mic, camera and location for all apps. Secure input will work with keyboards that are authorized by Xiaomi. App lock and hide apps is nothing new, but it is available for users who need it. Battery settings have this new slider and you can adjust it to get more battery or more performance. On the bottom of app settings, we have a new feature yet again, and it is secure mode. With secure mode, apps will be scanned before you install them, and if app does not pass the test, then the installation will be blocked. By the way, package installer is changed as well, and now there is more details of permission and version info, as well as file size too. Memory extension is here and it can create virtual RAM by using storage space. This feature is nothing new in Android and it is quite old. MIUI and some other OEMs just gave the option to do so from settings. Sidebar is another new feature, and with this we can access apps easily in a floating window. And the UI of sidebar reminds me of Dock from Mac. App flashcards is not working for now and I don't know how will it look. It's supposed to show key information of a floating window. Another iOS style thing, and this time it is Gallery app. If you play any video from Gallery, you will see this new slider on bottom and it is completely similar to iOS as you can see. File Manager UI is changed again and it is looking very minimal and clean. By the way, Calendar app have this nice bouncing effect which is much enjoyable than MIUI 13. Volume panel is looking much like iOS and there is timer slider for silent and do not disturb mode respectively. Music player notification have this small icon on right side and tapping on it expands the music player UI and shows some more option like the ability to change audio output and increase or decrease volume, which is pretty close to iOS. From here, you can do some tweaks to lock screen and you can enable always on display, but it is not working with this port. You can find some other options like lock screen clock format, double tap to wake or sleep, charging animation, pocket mode and others. Under display, we can find dark or light mode options on top, and you can also see anti-flicker mode, which should be for flagship devices with higher refresh rate. And there is color scheme option too, where you can tweak display colors. Now there is something new as well in here, and that is Sound Assistant, and I like it because it lets you manage volume of apps separately, just like the option from Resurrection Remix Android 10. And with second option, audio of music won't be lowered when any notification arrives, which is a good thing because it is very annoying when volume gets low whenever a notification arrives. Xdroid 1.7 is a CAF-based custom look which is pretty performance too. Notification and Control Center does include some new options as well. If you go into Notification Shade, you can see a new option for Group Notification, and this will group the notifications which are not important, such as spams and others. By the way, on bottom it states that this feature was introduced in MIUI 9. So they brought it back, I guess. Notification effect is also new, but tapping on it doesn't work. Maybe this will change the notification peak style on screen with different animations. Control Center still includes the old style option, which is nice to have. And with new Control Center, now we can swipe left or right to access different sides of the panel, and that is pretty handy. Other options is same as old version, so the video speed is increased. Other than that, there are some quick settings tile for CPU or GPU boost and tile for performance mode too. And if I tap on MIUI 12 tile, I can easily get into Xiaomi parts, and it packs a lot of things as you guys know. So the safety net is passed by default, and rooted users must enable Magisk Hide to pass the test. And Widevine is L3. That means users can't enjoy HD content on Amazon Prime Video and Netflix. Benchmark results is meh, as you would expect from MIUI. Geekbench and CPU throttling test score is way too low than the average score of Redmi Note 7, and both of the results is with stock kernel. Is there a twist in gaming? Let's find it out.
Bullshit! NANI?! Surprise, motherfucker!
No mercy!
Run.
Cover me!
What the hell is even that?!
Wait a minute! I wanna die! I wanna die!
I'm fast as fuck, boy!
Clear! No mercy! Hello! You can't escape me!
The match is over, and the red team is in the lead.
I'll chase you to the ends of the earth! Expire!
Still enjoying? Then make sure to leave a like and share this video. So the gaming was quite good, and to be honest, I was not expecting this. So I recorded gameplay at 1080p and it still managed to handle gaming around 40 to 50 FPS and screen recording at 1080p 60 FPS quite well. And to be clear, I didn't use any sort of magic modules. I just changed kernel to Arise Extreme version 1. So in terms of gaming performance, it is quite good to be honest. I don't know what will happen if we land on a hot drop. Maybe device will go. So the bugs that I faced was there are some text that is not translated in English. Other than that, data usage style is not working and using fingerprint for lock screen decreases the brightness. But these bugs has been fixed in latest build. I'm not using the latest build as the build that I'm using is pretty good and the bugs that I mentioned is not that major. So in the end, MIUI 13 have some unique features and some of them is canned from iOS. Slowly MIUI is getting there, and with more optimization, MIUI might reach their goal, which is to become China version of Apple. If you want to use it on a device, then it's up to you. But beware of lags. The lags are perfect as you would expect from MIUI. Overall, it is quite nice improvement since MIUI 12. You can watch more videos like this by tapping the card on screen. So that's it for this video, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe.